Shalom. Reincarnation, regeneration is backed up in the scriptures. Specifically, the concept that souls return in new bodies, also known as regeneration or being born again in the flesh. I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakat Kodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. In a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same spirit, teaching his word and believing his word, in sound doctrine and in the same spirit. Shalom to the Akwatiyam, believers of his faith and his truth. And Lord willing that y'all all continue to endure and be sincere in the same spirit and in sound doctrine. And Lord willing the most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that is not in the faith. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9 to 11. The thing that have been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It have been already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. Right? So ain't nothing new under the sun, especially when it comes to man and beasts, right? When it comes to nature, plants, right? Everything has the same cycle uh, under the sun. This under the sun is a place of judgment. That is never going to change until, especially for the Israelites, until Yahweh Shai come and deliver them. The reason why I said only for the Israelites that's going to change because they're going to have their glorified body, but under the sun is going to be a place of judgment for the other nations because they're not going to be the same as the children of Israel in the kingdom. And I just want to get that. Ecclesiastes 3 and 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, in the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. Right? And of course, the other nations are going to be put in order. Now, they're going to be dealing with their hell, which we look at Revelations 1 and 18. Yahweh Shai has the power to put anyone in hell or in death. The roles is going to switch because now the children of Israel is about to get into that lot, which was prophesied and promised to them from Abraham, Isaac to Jacob, and even more that blessing that was given from Isaac is going to be fulfilled, and the children of Israel is going to be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai. So again, when we were going into Ecclesiastes 1, 9, and 11, this is a beautiful explanation. This hints that things, including people, return again, but they don't remember their past lives, right? Specifically speaking about human, man, women, child. We come back in the earth because this is a place of judgment. The Lord removes your remembrance. Oh man. Just thinking about the power of the Lord alone is magnificent, is amazing. People don't accept or believe in reincarnation. You're putting the power of the Lord in a box like he cannot do it. These is secrets, but not everybody's going to get it, right? This Ecclesiastes 3, verse 15. It says that which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been. And the Most High require that which is past, right? So this is a beautiful explanation. Everything has happened before, including people's lives, suggesting a cycle of existence. The children of Israel just kept coming back between that third and fourth generation. This is another part of believing in the doctrine of the Lord. Now, if we take away reincarnation, you're taking away from the power of the Lord, right? Let alone when we see certain points of Daniel coming back in his lot. We look at John the Baptist as Elijah, which we'll get. Even Yahweh Shai being Solomon and Adam, which we see in 2 Samuel, the 7th chapter, verse 12 to 14, about Solomon building a temple, but that he was going to, if especially if he commits a sin, he was going to have to been given stripes of men, and Solomon did commit a sin, which, spiritual adultery, making sacrifice to another god, when he got older, by his concubines, his heathen wives. And when we look later on, Yahweh Shai, in the same example of the high priest doing the atonement, right, doing sins offering for himself and for the nation, Yahweh Shai laid himself down for the sins of Israel and even himself. Yahweh Shai plays a very important role in this ministry, right? Let's get Job, the 9th chapter, Salaki. Let's get Job 19, verse 25 to 27. It says, "For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the later day upon the earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High, whom I shall see for myself, and my eyes shall behold, and not another, though my reins be consumed within me." Right? He's saying, really, because the Redeemer is Yahweh Shai, that he's going to see the Redeemer. This is Job is the same one in Job, the 9th chapter, verse 32 to 35, saying if he had a mediator between him and the Most High. And then guess what? Later on, Yahweh Shai was that mediator, right? This is an explanation, right, on that Job believed he would see God again in the flesh after his body had already decayed, implying he would be back in another body, right? And guys, and it's the same thing for us right now, 2025. Men, women, you don't know who you was probably in your past life, but you was here, because under the sun is a place of judgment. If we're under here in a place of judgment and we're new, what did we do to get to be under the sun? Oh, when you were 10, when you were 15, you commit this, and no. You come back here because we go up to the spirit goes to the Father, and he sends you back down on the earth, because this is the place of judgment. Right? Let's get Matthew, the 11th chapter. This is Matthew chapter 11, verse 13 to 14. It says, "For all the prophets in the law prophesied until John. And if ye will receive it, this is Elias, which was for to come. He that have an ear to hear, let him hear." Right? He said that Elias, this Elijah, that John the Baptist was Elijah. Let's read it again. St. Matthew 11, verse 13. "For all the prophets in the law prophesied until John. And if ye will receive it, this is Elias, which was for to come." Now, I'll even get it in the NLT if I can. Where is it at? So Matthew 11, verse 13. Okay, Matthew 11, verse 13 in the NLT, it says, "For before John came, all the prophets in the law of Moses look forward to this present time. And if you are willing to accept what I say, he is Elijah, the one the prophets said would come." So John is Elijah. What does that mean? Reincarnation, regeneration is real, right? So again, Yahweh clearly says that John the Baptist is Elijah, returned. Elijah lived hundreds of years earlier, and we when we go into the law, to the third or fourth generation, right? Let's get Matthew, the 17th chapter, verse 10 to 13. It says, and his disciples asked him, saying, why then say the scribes that Elias must first come? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall first come and restore all things. But I say unto you that Elias is come already, and they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed. Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them. Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist. That right there is plain. There's no need to argue. There's no need to fight. But guess what? If the Spirit is calling you to be against this, guess what? You might not be of the elect. You might not be a true believer. You're not in this thing. So cry, complain, mock, scoff all you want. You might not be of this thing. You got to truly have faith in this thing. You got to be able to analyze the scriptures in the spirit. Oh, the spirit is on me. If you can't, if the spirit don't got you understanding the deep things, you are not in the spirit, brothers. You are not in the spirit, sis. You know? So even the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist that was going to restore all things. But it said, Elias surely shall first come and restore all things. And it's another thing. Pharisees believed in regeneration, reincarnation, but of course they were blinded, so it was certain things they could not get. Just like in this same time, a lot of the prophets or apostles was teaching in Hebrew. A lot of Jay cannot accept that on this side. So again, Yahweh Shai confirms John is Elijah reincarnated. The people didn't realize him because he was in a different body. It's the same for us now. Just imagine you saying, uh, you Jessica, or this brother saying he Timbo. A lot of people ain't gonna believe us if we were saying who he was in our past life. You know. So now let's get Hebrews the 9th chapter, verse 27. This is Hebrews 9, verse 27. And as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this, the judgment. After this, the judgment. What does this mean? Some use this against reincarnation, but the verse speaks of the cycle. You die, are judged, then return to live out that judgment, right? And we're going to even line this up with, let's go to Revelations 10 and 11, right? Because if when we look at Ecclesiastes 12 and 7, your spirit goes to the Father, your flesh goes into it's on the earth, right? And right there, when you in the spirit world, you're gonna know that this was true, right? And wherever that time frame is, you're sent back on the earth and you don't have no remembrance, right? Right now we gotta read about our history, but we are not in remembrance of who we is. Shoot, we not in remembrance of what happened. Right? So this is Revelations 10 and 11. Revelations 10 and 11, it says, and he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. Who is this? This is John the Revelator. This is John the Revelator. John the Revelator is going to prophesy again to before many people, nations, tongues, and kings. John the Revelator was the last apostle. The truth, it was a whole falling away when all the apostles went to the spirit world. That's what Second Thessalonians 2 and 3 is about. From all the way from that falling away, all the way to coming in America for 350 years with no wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Now, after that 350 year has been established fully in 1969, now the truth is sprouting. It only been on the earth for 56 years on this in this time, man. So John the Revelator could be in the midst of the men of the Lord teaching the word, or he could be in the spirit world, right? So again, let me start at verse 10. I'll start at verse 9. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up. It shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. Right? This is John the Revelator. Right? John the Revelator is going up to the angel. Right? Let's even read verse 8. In the voice which I heard from heaven, John the Revelator spake unto me again and said, Go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. And I went unto the angel, John the Revelator, and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it, eat it up. Just like what the Lord told Ezekiel, eat the roll, right? And it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. So John the Revelator ate up the words, right? Now his belly is bitter, and he said unto me, Thou must prophesy again before many peoples, nations, and tongues, and kings. After John the Revelator, when did he come back and prophesy before many people? If Second Thessalonians, let's get that real quick, right? Because even if you go to Second Ezra, the 7th chapter, verse 29, Yahushai went up to the Father, and then those that had life, they even went up to the Father, right, in the spirit world, because that time was done, right? Because then they go up to the heavens, they had to come right back down. The kingdom is not established yet, right? Let me get this real quick. I'm getting excited now. In Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 2, it says that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Hamashiach is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Right? The falling away. Let me just get that, because I just spoke on it. Yahweh Shemal Shai is just giving us the secrets. Second Ezra, the 7th chapter, in verse 28, it says, For my son Yahushai shall appear with those who follow him, and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years. After these years shall my son Hamashiach die, and all men that have life. Who have life? Those that follow Yahushai, starting with the disciples, right? Because it's all about Yahushai teaching, and then Yahushai was building up the tabernacles of David through the Spirit by building the foundation, which Peter being a rock of the church, and then the other apostles, right? The 12 was just representing the 12 tribes of Israel, but then more apostles rose up, more disciples underneath those apostles, right? So when we went to Revelations 10 and 11, John the Revelator was told he would prophesy again, but he died after writing Revelations. So this implies he would come back in another lifetime, right? Because John the Revelator was going through some afflictions, right? He was going through some afflictions, right? Getting stoned. Not John the Revelator was in Patmos. So like I'm over here thinking about Brother Paul. Uh, John the Revelator was in Patmos, right? Which scholars would go investigate and say he was boiled in oil, but came out, then got out, and he died in peace, died of old age, right? But he was the last apostle, right? So again, so Revelations 10 and 11, it implies that John the Revelator would come back in another lifetime, right? We gotta believe in these things, right? With your faith, you want to take it with a grain of salt. Grandmama used to say that, right? This is Saint John, the ninth chapter, verse 1 to 2. It says, "And as Yahushua passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Yahushua answered, Neither have this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of the Most High should be made manifest in him." Right? So what is this? What is this going into? The disciples asked if the man sinned before birth. This shows they understood the concept of sin in a past life, right? Let me see. Let's see. How is it worded in the NLT? St. John 9, verse 1 and 2 in the NLT. As Yahushua was walking alone, he saw a man who had been blind from birth. Rabbi, his disciples asked him, Why was this man born blind? Was it because of his own sins or his parents' sins? It was not because of his sins or his parents' sins. Yahushua answered, This happened so the power of the Most High could be seen in him. Right? But it was it the if you were paying attention to the other verses before, under the sun is a place of judgment. Him as himself, right? He is his own lot at that moment in that time. But we all come back, and the judgment is for what we did in our past life, right? Lord willing, that made sense. I'm trying to give as much sense as I can to you guys. Right, let's get this one. Second Ezra's, the 14th chapter, in verse 35. And it reads, it says, For after death shall the judgment come, right? What's death? When the spirit leaves the body, right? What happens to the spirit? Ecclesiastes 12 and 7. The spirit goes to the Father, and the flesh, it goes back into the dirt where it came, right? So, for after death shall the judgment come. Then we shall live again. Then shall the names of righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared. I'm going to read the top part again. It says, For after death shall the judgment come. You in the spirit world, right? When we shall live again, right? Because after you go in the spirit world, you with the Lord, you're going to come back down and you're going to live out your judgment under the sun. Like, don't let these scriptures go over your head like a football. Even though, in order to catch the football, and you doing a streak, you want it to go over your shoulder so that you can catch it. But some people allow that football to go over their head, and guess what? They fumble it. Don't fumble the spiritual bag. You know, reincarnation, regeneration is real. Your spirit just gets a new body. People, oh, so you're gonna have the same look all the time? No, you're not gonna have the same look, because if when John the Baptist was not looking like Elijah, but we can look at the mannerism, the spirit, right? John the Baptist believed in the Lord. Elijah believed in the Heavenly Father. And even more, even those prophets of old understood what was coming later on, because the Lord was dealing with the prophets on in a spiritual level. But that full effect did not happen until Yahweh came. And even say that the spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets. So if you was a prophet in your past life, you're gonna come back. Ain't no new prophet. Whoever is a prophet on the earth now was a prophet in his past life. You know, this is a system, just like the 144,000. They're not just something new in the earth. Yes, this is new to the earth. Just like watching that video Apostle Tahar did of some of the brothers of the old One West, right, when they went on Jerry Springer, and the people laughed at them when they said they're the children of they're the Hebrew Israelites, the children of Yahweh, the children of God. They laughed at them, you know. So to some of y'all, this might be a joke. This might be hilarious. But the joke is going to be on you when you find out that all this time, the men of the Lord was in your neighborhood. They was in your city. They was in your country. Shoot, they was in all other countries teaching his word. And guess what? Jake wanted to reject it, right? Women, right, was looking at their man lesser than what no, you going to get that in the kingdom. But guess what? You should be fearing Yahweh Shema Shai that the men of the Lord is back now, where you supposed to be changing your inward thought. Mortify the mind. Because a lot of Jake truly don't believe in Yahweh Shema Shai. If you don't believe in reincarnation, you're not going to believe in chariots. If you don't believe in reincarnation, of course, you're not going to believe in polygyny, right? In the full effect. You're not going to believe in the order of man is over the woman, and that woman was really created for the man. Literally, women were created only for the man. The man wasn't created for the woman. You know, you're not gonna believe in immortality. You're not gonna believe in superpowers, right? This you have to believe in the whole doctrine, right? So if the Lord putting the veil over you, not to see this reincarnation and all these things, you are spiritually blind, right? So I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, the Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahushai, for another lesson to edify me and to edify the sheep. Lord willing, we could take this and actually move and actually, be amazed at all the things you have done for us, for those that believe to come back in this thing through Yahweh Shai. So with that, I want to say shalom, shalom. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, all you men continue to endure in sound doctrine in the same spirit. Shalom to the Akbatiyam. Lord willing, that y'all continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife, and actually be believers of this truth in this ministry. And Lord willing, the most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. Ababa Ball. Shalom. Shalom.